Ever felt like an outsider at a loud party? Everyone's laughing, but you just feel out of place. Have you wondered why you'd rather stay in with a good book or just sit with your thoughts instead of going to a social event that everyone else seems to love? They say humans are naturally social creatures, right? But science and history tell a different story when it comes to high intelligence. Think of Isaac Newton, who'd get so focused he'd literally forget to eat. Or Elon Musk, who sees alone time as a must for strategic thinking. Today, we're not looking at introversion as a flaw. We're talking about solitude as a smart choice. Why do smart people run from the noise? Is being alone the price of genius, or is it where genius is actually built? Buckle up. We're diving deep into the human mind. Back in 2016, a study in the British Journal of Psychology made headlines. Researchers Satoshi Kanazawa and Norman Lee found something really strange. Most people are happier when they spend more time with friends, but here's the kicker. For highly intelligent people, it was the complete opposite. The more they socialized, the less happy they felt with their lives. Why? It comes down to the savanna theory of happiness. Our ancestors lived in small tribes where sticking together meant staying alive. But the modern brilliant mind has evolved past that instinct. A smart person usually has a project or a big idea they're obsessed with. To them, an hour spent on small talk like "what's for lunch" feels like an hour taken away from their life's work. Smart people don't hate people. They're just more in love with their own ideas. There's a specific kind of mental exhaustion that smart people go through, and it's called small talk. For a mind that's busy analyzing black holes or diving into the philosophy of existence, chatting about the weather or celebrity gossip feels like a total waste of processing power. A brilliant mind looks for the core. It wants to know, what do you think about the future of humanity? Not, what did you see at the mall? When an intelligent person is forced to play along with these conversations, they're basically wearing a social mask. And honestly, it's exhausting. Imagine trying to run heavy, high-end software on an old, outdated computer. That's exactly what happens to a smart person's brain in shallow social settings. So, they choose solitude. Not because they're arrogant, but simply to protect their mental peace. Nikola Tesla put it clearly. The mind is sharper and more focused in continuous solitude. Creativity doesn't grow in noise. To build complex software, write a world-changing novel, or solve a physics equation, you need what Cal Newport calls deep work. This kind of work requires a state of flow. Any social interruption, no matter how small, breaks that flow, and it takes at least 20 minutes just to get back into the zone. Smart people know the value of quality time. They realize the world is constantly trying to steal their attention, and solitude is the only fortress left to protect it. There's a huge difference between being lonely and being alone. Most people tend to get their self-worth and identity from how others see them, from likes and social approval. But a smart person usually has an incredibly rich inner world. They are their own best friend. They have enough ideas, books, and interests that they literally never get bored. An intelligent person doesn't need someone else to tell them they're great. They get their satisfaction from their own achievements and intellectual growth. This emotional self-sufficiency makes connecting with others a choice, not a necessity. And if they can't find someone who actually adds to their intellectual value, they'd rather just be by themselves. After all, their own mind is the most interesting companion they have. Don't get me wrong, smart people aren't monks. They do have friends, but just a very small circle. They don't care about having 500 friends on Facebook. Instead, they have 2 or 3 who truly get them, people who understand their silence even before they speak. Highly intelligent people are looking for an intellectual soulmate, someone who can keep up with their train of thought, accept their quirks, and doesn't constantly demand explanations. This selective nature makes them seem isolated to society, but in reality, they're building their own inner circle. They'd rather have a gap in their social life than fill it with someone who doesn't speak their language. In the end, solitude isn't a punishment. It's a sacred space. If you're someone who prefers your own company, don't feel guilty about it. You aren't antisocial, and you aren't weird. Maybe you just have a mind that sees what others miss, and you need the quiet to decode the world around you. Remember, the greatest inventions, the most beautiful poems, and the deepest philosophies were all born in moments of silence, away from the spotlight. Embrace your solitude, use it to build yourself up, and know that while noise might make you famous, silence is what makes you great. If you see yourself in these words, let us know in the comments. How do you spend your alone time? And how do you protect your space from the noise of the world?